Hi, my name is Gebberom. I work for the City of Amsterdam as their Chief Technology and Innovation Officer. This means that I'm responsible for, well, basically our R&D, implementing technology and making sure we innovate on the fields we need to.
My name is Nido Owali, a 23-year-old entrepreneur. I'm one of the co-founders of a product development agency, and we love to build things. There needs to be urgency, and nowadays we're living in a lot of different urgencies, so there needs to be a societal urgency. And by example, I can tell that waste management, clean energy, digital safety are kind of topics that we focus on.
Well, with COVID obviously popping up everywhere, there's a whole bunch of issues we needed to fix, but let's take three of them. First of all, we needed to manage crowds to make sure people could 1.5 meter distance, not too much people at the same time. Secondly, we had a whole, big challenge to collect waste in different places, because normally people were littering downtown and now waste was everywhere because people were reconstructing their houses and whatever, were staying at home. And thirdly, I would say there was a challenge about getting the right information to all Amsterdammers and making sure we were detecting fake news, disinformation on social channels, etc. Because obviously it's important that people know what the rules are, but also what's good for them in terms of health, protecting themselves and others in Amsterdam.
Ger reached out to us in order to ask for a solution with data. Data was a component, and in the retrospective, the municipality is used to use that data only for their own operations, so for the traffic managers and stuff. But now the citizen was also victim of this problem, so we needed to build a solution where data could help us to give insights in crowdness in the city, not only for the operations but also for the citizen.
We needed two types of products. One of us for professionals, for our own colleagues basically, which we're doing a lot of analytics about what happened, when, and how can we make interventions in the city. But secondly, we developed a product parallel to that, on the same backbone, but parallel to that, it actually was an interface for people living over here, visitors, citizens, etc. So we created a mobile native app basically, so a web app. And based on that, we showed them where in Amsterdam actually there are a lot of people right now, and where we actually expect to be a lot of people in the near future. So you can see on like a square like this, you could actually see it's green, red or orange. Green meaning, hey, you can go there, you can keep 1.5 meters distance, please go in the sun, etc. Orange, well, please don't go there because it's getting too crowded. And red actually is, it's too crowded, leave, because you don't want to be there.
What is different is the way we did it. So we launched a prototype. It's a continuous development project. So we launched the prototype in order to get more data, not only from our sensors, but also from the citizen. So in the application, we asked the citizen to share their observation, crowdness observation, with us. So that's I think a unique selling point of our application. And secondly, what I said, it's continuous developing, so it's never finished. And you have to have guts as a municipality to launch a prototype to your citizens, to your users. Ideally, you want to develop this with every developer who wants to. So we took that in our architecture. Our open source is an important component from our vision.
We didn't know what to build because there wasn't a product available, so we needed a way of working that a startup does basically. So we started to experiment, make something, create something else, build something on top of it, start again basically. So every 3 weeks we had a new product launch basically, and step by step we created what we have right now, which is the version that's useful for everybody. But still, every few weeks we add new functionalities to it basically. So this way of work, not creating a big roadmap and a big architecture for the next 2 years ahead, which basically every government does continuously. I mean, we think of big plans and everything needs to be included, and then we spend 20 million and then it fails. So we needed to use more of the startup way of work, create something, test it, create something, test it, etc. So, and I think that worked quite well. COVID made us to accelerate on this way of work. So the startup way of work probably is the best lesson we had. And by COVID, the sense of urge was so big that we actually needed to, because we couldn't order something from the shelf. We couldn't think of where it would end. What we needed now is something that we could use right now for everybody in the city to make sure the crowd was not going to the same place at the same time.
It's important to mention that, especially in the development phase of this kind of applications, you need the creative side, especially from a design perspective. How can you, with this application, because as a municipality you want the application to be used by as many people as possible, so how can you design applications in a way that many people will use it? But the goal needs to be that we are going to behavioral influencing, so that needs to be involved in the design, and that's where I see the bridge between creative industry and big major problems we have to deal with as a municipality. We can't do it alone as a municipality, especially in these kind of times where the urgencies are so big and the problems are so rapidly changing. You need the intelligence of your own citizens to come up with a solution.